Tim Webster's in the birdcage, catching up with some more of our Olympic stars.
The softballers, Sandra, yes, Natalie Ward. Natalie, hi.
Hi, Tim.
I have to have long arms for this. Melanie Roach.
Hello, Tim.
Fiona Haynes.
Hi, Tim. How you going?
Having a good day. You first.
Absolutely fantastic. Who wouldn't on a glorious day like this one?
It's magnificent, isn't it? Now, we were talking before we came on the air. That gold medal was so close, wasn't it? I mean, the games were so tight, Mel.
Yeah, that's right, Tim. I think the USA, who did win gold, could have easily finished fourth. So it was just a really, really tough Olympic softball competition, which it should be, shouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. There's the medal, by the way. Just hold that up so the camera can see it. We have to see those. Still, a bronze medal at the Olympic Games in Sydney just must have been a thrill.
Oh, absolutely. For me, it was my first Olympic Games, so it was absolutely fantastic to play in front of your home crowd at a home Olympics, and to come away with a medal was a tremendous result for us.
Now, I know you know absolutely nothing about horse racing, so I'm going to embarrass you and ask you for a tip, Fee.
My nan's actually tipped Copacabana, so my nan, and I have to go with Nan.
Okay.
You know what, Fiona? My grandfather's tipped Copacabana. He loves Gay Waterhouse, so there we go.
What's your uncle think?
Well, I'm yet to ring my nan, actually. But I've got my money on number 2, Far Cry.
Yeah, good on you. If you can make anything out of that, you're a better man than me. Sandra?
You're right, I can't make anything out of it at all. But listen, sport is emotional. It takes a lot of courage and a lot of guesswork. But, you know, for one man throughout this entire Spring Carnival, it's been a pretty emotional time. Today, he has one of the favourites for the Melbourne Cup, Freemason. And should Freemason take out this year's Cup, John Hawkes will give the owners, the Ingham brothers, their highest emotions ever in horse racing.
Tuesday, October 10, 2000. A day John Hawkes would rather forget.
Shattered. Unworldly, the most exciting racehorse in the country, was put down after breaking a leg in track work at Warwick Farm.
Worst day of our racing career so far.
But fortunately for Hawkes, the good times at Crown Lodge have been far more plentiful. The boy from Adelaide has come a long way.
When I suppose I was 4 or 5, I was riding ponies and, you know, I was apprenticed to my uncle Sid Carter, you know, in Adelaide, and I suppose that's where it all started from there, you know. It's sort of, I've been in it all my life, and, you know, I've had a few lucky breaks along the way, and had some good people behind that have helped me, and things have worked out very well. The harder you work, the luckier you get, so, and as I said, you know, I was always prepared to work hard, and if you work hard, you can always be successful. We're a well-organised team, and really that's what it's all about. You know, it's just being a great team, and that's how we sort of keep it all together.
The Doubters had plenty to say when Hawkes was seconded to Sydney to head up the massive Woodland Stud operation. But after a Commonwealth record 306.5 winners last season, those voices have long fallen silent. The Ingham brothers had backed a winner.
They really enjoy their, you know, their racing. I mean, you know, they put a lot of money into the game, and you know, they get as excited if they win a maiden, you know, at Bullamakanka or win a Group 1.
Of the thousands of horses that have been in his care, one above all others causes a glint in the eye and a bit of a lump in the throat. Octagon.
We bought him as a yearling in New Zealand and took him right from the bottom right to the top, you know, at the highest level, and that was, you know, one tremendous thrill. And as I said, hopefully it would happen again, but I doubt whether it will.
And his crowning glory, the 95 Cox Plate.
Octagonal swept around them, and here comes Jean and Mahogany getting right up along the inside.
It still sends goosebumps, you know, when they head and head all the way down the straight, and I sort of don't cheer that much, but, you know, I did that particular day, and, you know, as I said, he had me on his back that day too, so I don't know how he got over the line.
On the outside, Octagonal wins the Cox Plate ahead to Mahogany.
On the odd occasion, John Hawkes defends jockeys.
And a few people have had a word or two to say about Darren Gauci over the last few weeks.
No, they're only talking through their arse, mate. They wouldn't know what they're talking about. So.
But not too often.
When they're riding winners, it's a business. On the back. And I work long hours, my staff work long hours, and so therefore 9 out of 10, if you want to put it for a jock on a ride, it's not good enough. I want 10 out of 10.
After all he's achieved, one dream for Hawkes remains unfulfilled. A date with Destiny on the first Tuesday in November.
I think it's a race that's, you know, known around the world now, and to win a race like that, I think that sort of elevates you to, well, in the world standings, if you want to put it that way. And sure, it'll be tremendous, you know, to win that particular race. There's still other races I'd like to win, but that's the real big main one left that I would love to win.
still a battler?
Still a battling trainer, and always will be.
Battler maybe, but still, nevertheless, John Hawkes, one of Australia's most celebrated trainers. Well, stick around. The Anderson Consulting Plate is coming up next, right after this break. Welcome to a sensational day here in Melbourne. Just take a look at your screen. You can't half miss it. The sun is shining. It is an absolutely glorious day for the 2000 Foster's Melbourne Cup. But coming up next is race 5. How's it shaping up, Peter?
It's shaping up very well, Sandra Sully, and don't you forget to keep some champagne on ice for us down there in the marquee. It is beautiful down here. We're going to need it at the end of the day, Jen.
Yes, it's very, very hot here, but it's a great day.
Let's find a winner in race 5, and first of all, look at 3, Lord of the Pines. Stephen Baster, the rider, for Peter Hayes. In fact, there is Sedation number 1 with Damien Oliver in the saddle.
Well, he hasn't won since 1998, Peter, and he's going to be fitter, but just on his recent form, he's just been a bit too disappointing.
It looked as though he was going to be anything early, didn't he? Number 3, Lord of the Pines, as I said. Stephen Baster takes the ride here for Peter Hayes.
Well, I thought it was a good effort with the 61.5 kilos. He's going to appreciate the weight drop here back to 56 kilos. He doesn't win too often, Peter, but, you know, he's quite unreliable, I suppose. So if you'd like to take him on trust, he's probably there with some chance.
Ryan Mayfield Smith trained a winner with Oliver Twist in the Louis Vuitton McKinnon on Saturday. He trains Manor Hill here. Peter Mertens the rider.
Manor Hill worked a bit early last start at Caulfield, but gave up quite quickly there. He does love the Flemington Straight, Flemington 1400, I should say, and I thought he would go quite well. He's a pretty good chance in the race.
6's Cloth of Gold. Patrick Payne rides for Bart Cummings.
Been disappointing, Cloth of Gold. It's really quite hard to recommend him. You know, on his run Flemington 3 starts ago, he finished 12th there, and he'd have to improve a little bit.
7 Destruction Point. Craig Williams takes the ride for Hannah Gilligan at Cranbourne.
He's had excuses his last couple. He's been caught wide there. I've got a little feeling this horse may need some blinkers on, but he has got some good form, and I wouldn't leave him out.
Now, have a look at this horse in the mounting yard. When he walked in, Jen and I both went at the same time. Wow, he looks magnificent, Point Danger.
Sure did. Look, on looks, you'd have to say he's the pick out of the mounting yard for sure. He could box seat here, and he's a definite chance in the race. He looks terrific.
Jimmy Cassidy takes the ride. Alan Bailey trains. 11 Campermanis, the horse we were talking about, the outside chance from the Derby last year. Darren Beedman, the rider for Bart.
Yes, he's a bit of a stayer, Peter, and I really would prefer him over a bit further than 1400.
A couple more good chances here, Jen. 13 Geronimo Run. Brett Preble has already been in the winner's stall, and David Hall, well, he's always there, isn't he?
Yes, he's a very consistent horse, Geronimo Run. Sat 3 wide outside the lead and fought on very strongly at Caulfield last start, and if he gets some luck here, he's a good chance.
And as I said, you'd love Liquid Lunch.
So do you?
In more ways than one, yes, I do. Well, tell me why you like it.
Well, he got a mile out of his ground there at Cranbourne, and he ran on very, very well. He had 58. He drops down to 53 kilos here today. Impressive at Sandown 3 starts ago, and I think he's a very good chance.
G-Boss rides 18. Ace Patiri rides 19 here. There's part of the big crowd that totes for race 5. As we are getting closer to race time for the Anderson Consulting Plate. Here they are with Dan Malicki.
Sedation at $22. Lord of the Pines in the market $9.90. 6.10 Manor Hill down to $8.40 for number 8 Point Danger. Campermanis just into double figures. And $4.90 Geronimo Run has been steady all the way through. So too Liquid Lunch at $6.80, and then a few more, including Swanette, who's given a good chance each way. $13 for number 18. And if you want something at massive odds, get rich quick. Number 19 Carrick, $309 for the win. But they've been getting up at those sort of prices, Goss.
They certainly have been, and there's some money for Minotaur here, Dan. It's about 35 to 1 on the tote, half that price here in the ring. But the favourite, heavily backed in the last 3 or 4 minutes, is Manor Hill.
So that one from the Brian Mayfield Smith stable is the favourite, but we have found Manor Hill with Richard Friedman's selection. Liquid Lunch from Jen, myself and Gary. Campermanis from Dan. Point Danger from Letzi. And I thought he looked spectacular. We're going to find out some more in a moment from Roy Higgins, but just take a look at the map here. 1,400 metres. Well, it is, as we've already discussed, one of the most difficult barriers in Australian racing, because if you are posted out deep here after 150 metres, then you're posted out for the next 1,000 practically until they come into the straight at the 450. Well, over by the Maribyrnong River, they're moving in very quickly. So, Roy, how did you mark them?
Yes, just quickly, Peter. I went with the 8 Point Danger. I think he's well suited here. 1,400. Look for 18 Swanette, 4 and 13. 8, 18, 4 and 13.
Just about right, Gary Willett, Stan Malicki.
All locked away now. Manor Hill said good specking, particularly on the track. Lights are flashing away. One giving trouble wider out. Now they're right to go by the looks of it. And they're off now. Now Kahuna Princess missed it 2.5 lengths. Slow to begin was Carrig, and Pleasant Mick was eased off their heels in the early part. Dance Widders was one of the first to appear. Showing speed was Geronimo Run. Minotaur was handy. And also up there in the early part of the race, Liquid Lunch is more forward today with Point Danger. Destruction Point's about 7th. And then came Demon Taj. Manor Hill's about midfield on the inside. They were followed by Camper Marnies, another length Lord of the Pines. Over on the inside, Cloth of Gold. 2 lengths to Swanette, then Pleasant Mick. 2 lengths Carrig. And back last is Kahuna Princess. About 800 metres to travel. Dance Widders in front of Geronimo Run. Sedation's going up third, just travelling a little bit wide, but wider still Demon Taj. Point Danger's had a nice run, and so too has Minotaur. Next was Camper Marnie's travelling wide out around Destruction Point. Back along the inside was Manor Hill. Liquid Lunch is running in about 8th spot, about 1 off the fence as they turn into the straight. 500 to go. They start to fan across the track. Geronimo Run went to the lead. Dance Widders starts to struggle. Demon Taj runs on. Camper Marnie's appearing on the scene. And then Liquid Lunch further out, Lord of the Pines and Swanette knuckling down. Demon Taj after Geronimo Run. Camper Marnie's joining in. Then Lord of the Pines and Swanette getting going from Manor Hill. It's Geronimo Run, a length and a half in front. He extends now. Trying to reach him was Camper Marnie's, and then Lord of the Pines and Demon Taj. But Geronimo Run is going strongly, holding Camper Marnie's, and Geronimo Run wins at 2.5 lengths. Camper Marnie's has run second, third home Lord of the Pines. Then Demon Taj, who was an excellent run. It was 4 wide the whole way. Back behind them, Swanette. Then came Minotaur. Kahuna Princess beat a few home. Cloth of Gold. Liquid Lunch didn't do a lot in the straight. And then came Manor Hill, Pleasant Mick, Destruction Point, Dance Widders, Sedation dropped out, Point Danger, and Carrig at the tail of the field.
Very good run, Geronimo Run. Trained by David Hall, Brett Preble, double, and a treble, I think, for David Hall, is it already?
Yeah, he's really a man on fire, as he was through this carnival last year. Raced up on the speed, did a bit of the Bullock work from an outside gate, and when they fanned to come up and challenge, he kicked away and found another gear, Gary.
Yes, here he is here, and really hard ridden on the fence by Brett Preble. I thought Bart's horse, Carpenales, was really going to run him down, but this horse found plenty, Geronimo Run.
He certainly did. Camper Marnie's ran right up to his slashing first up run in Brisbane. And the others, well, you got the feeling they were going to run over the top of the leaders, but Geronimo Run just had a second gear. He won like a really good quality horse, and he must have been looking for that 1400 today. The last time he saw that distance, he won a race at Sandown. So that combination, again, Brett Preble and David Hall, PD, they made the carnival their own last year, and they're trying to shadow that again this time.
Absolutely, Dan. Don't I know you from somewhere?
Who's got that microphone, Pete? You or me?
You're not getting appearance money, no matter how hard you try, and you don't need it, because that was a very impressive win.
Yeah, look, I think he's always shown above average ability, this horse, and you know, his first 2 runs, he's a little bit stiff to get beaten, and I think he's just been busting to get to Flemington over 1400 on the bigger circuit, and you know, he showed his true form today.
Wasn't he travelling on the turn?
He certainly was, yeah. I was pretty confident, and look, you know, at Flemington it's a long straight, but Brett gave him one around the tail, and he switched his tail, he put the whip away, and he knuckled down and really quickened up. Fantastic.
Yeah, he responded nicely, didn't he? Because Camper Marnie's probably looked as though he was going to make a race of it about the 250.
Yeah, that's right, and he sort of loomed out of the pack, and to get to the clock tower, there's a little bit further to go here, but you know, it was a good, strong effort. I think he'll run a little bit further, Pete.
Yeah, he should have better wins in store, you would think.
No, look, we've always had the opinion that he was going to be, you know, sort of listed to a Group 3 sort of horse, and, you know, that's sort of a win today. Well, I'm sure that'll take him into that sort of race.
Just one last thing, your shout at the champagne bar after the last.
Oh, no problems there at all.
Beautiful. David Hall, the winning trainer, yet again. Let's go out to Johnny Letts with the winning rider, yet again, Brett Preble.
Brett, Geronimo Run, gee, got across from his gate quick, and you had a nice run and travelled beautiful in the run, didn't you?
Yeah, he travelled beautiful. He's a hard-going horse, but he's really going to learn to settle and get it all right. He hung today, and he got it all wrong and still won, so he's got good ability.
Yeah, now, I think you get a little bit further, 6
He'll get further, but he's mentally not here yet. He's probably 3 to 6 months away yet in the head.
He's something to think of later, isn't he?
Oh, for sure. You know, he'll get over ground one day.
Good tough win, Brett.
It was.
Yeah, congratulations, mate.
Thanks.
13, 11 and 3 of the numbers there. Geronimo Run, Brett Preble defeating Camper Marnie's Darren Beadman. Good performance from him, though, by the same token. He'll be suited by more ground. and Lord of the Pines getting into third placing, number 3, ridden by Stephen Baster. So as the winner comes back after the running of race 5, we've only got a couple to go. The lead-ups in the Schweppes 1000 and also the Great Western before the big one comes up, the Foster's Melbourne Cup. Stay with us.
When?
First 6 riders from every race hop on the scales. Prize money down to 5th, so the 6th rider can throw in a protest, but that's not going to happen here by the look of it. We're going to get the weight signal. There it is from Mr. Des Gleeson, correct weight after race 5. The Anderson Consulting Plate with that fellow Geronimo Run. Destined for better things, I think. Brett Preble, the rider, David Hall, the trainer. And how many times have we heard that this carnival? And 12 months ago as well, Dan.
Absolutely, Pete. He was very impressive, wasn't he, Geronimo Run? $482 for number 13. Campamani's $4.30. Lord of the Pines $3.20. Quinella $32.90. Exacta $59. Trifecta $447. And the running double 15 and 13 $87. And Tim, it was good to see a single price winner for a change.
Yes, and they got on late too, the punters, so he might be starting to strike back against the bagman. So a better result there for the punters with some late money for Geronimo Run. I can tell you that in Melbourne Cup betting in the last 15 minutes, Brew has halved its price. It was about 20 to 1, with most bookmakers along the rails now betting pre-post on the Cup. It is now into 10 to 1. It has come for huge support. Carpstad Way still the favourite. Diatribe and Freemason 6 and 7 to 1 respectively. But the massive go, Peter Donegan, in the last 15 minutes is for the bottom one, Brew.
Well, Tim Gossage, I think it was probably always over the odds at around about 20 to 1. As we look at the next race, 6 on the card, the Schweppes 1000 at 145. What are your thoughts, Jennifer?
I like the top weight here, Peter. Number 1, Sound the Alarm. They took the blinkers off at Moonee Valley 2 starts ago, and he went on to score there. And I think coming back to the 1,000 metres from the 1,400 metres at his last start, he gets into this race very well because he's back against his own age group. The hardest to beat, number 3, Lord Dane, who's come up quite short on the tote, and number 15, Secret Haze. They're a bit of odds.
As we just saw, Lord Dane, the favourite, at $4.70 on Super Tab, and there are the rest of the runners. It is a wide open race. You're almost getting 4 to 1 the field for race 6. 1:45 the starting time, getting closer to the Foster's Melbourne Cup. Well, let's have a look at what the predictor has to say about the next, the Strathfield race predictor. And it's gone 3, 2 and 6 here. So it's agreed with me again. Lord Dane to beat Century Kid and Regal Shot. 3, 2 and 6 the trifecta from the Strathfield race predictor for race 6 on the card. We've already mentioned the crowd. Just seems to get big. I don't think I've ever seen a bigger one.
No, I must admit I haven't either, Peter, because when we came this morning, the crowd was massive, and I think we might be able to break the record. Let's hope so anyway.
Well, it's time to go to the presentation after the running of race 5 on the card, and I'm very happy to introduce the managing partner of Anderson Consulting, Mr. Martin Rolston.
Anderson Consulting is delighted to be associated with the VRC on this really magnificent day of racing. We've been running this race for 6 years, and this will be the last running of the Anderson Consulting Stakes because, as you'll see on our little stickers, we're being renamed, redefined and reborn from January the 1st next year as Accenture. So perhaps this next year, this may be the Accenture plate. It's terrific to see all of the VRC committeemen share in the win of Geronimo Run. It was a fantastic effort by that horse to win the last running of our race. So on behalf of the 1,500 partners and staff of Anderson Consulting, soon to be Accenture, I'd like to congratulate the owners, who will be represented by Peter Fekete. Congratulate David Hall, who, by the way, if my horse has got a chance in race 9, David's got to train 4 for the day. And I'm also hoping that Brett Preble can at least add a few more to his collection. And congratulations, Brett, on a great ride on the winner. Thanks very much.
Well, you certainly wouldn't be putting it past David Hall or Brett Preble later on in the 9th race. Thanks to Anderson Consulting, and whatever they're called next year, let's hope that they are involved here at Flemington. Well, the next race, Jen, as I keep on saying, is at 1:45. We're just edging ever closer, and that is around about 27 minutes away from now. The Schweppes 1000 dash down the straight, and then, of course, we get to the Great Western, and then we get to the Foster's Melbourne Cup. Why don't we have a look at the totes as they stand at present and see if there have been any moves amongst these horses? Well, in runs, Ellie. He's pretty good value, really, because we know that he wants to go on top of the ground.
Well, he does, Peter, and you know that he will stay, but he's just got to handle this big field, that's for sure.
Diatribe still the favourite at $6. Far Cry still in the betting at 12 with Arctic Owl. Freemason, very good value, $9.90. Carpstad Way, the one they backed early at $6.90 on Super Tab. Yippee-I-O, mainly because of his popularity as a racehorse and his wonderful racing name.
Well, he's got a huge fan club, hasn't he? It'd be great to see old Yippee Wee.
Yeah, great name for the race callers, Yippee-I-O. And I wonder if Dan will be saying that at about 25 past 3 today. Hill of Grace is in the betting at $30. And then the one that they have come for now, Tim Gossage has given you the push for this horse, Brew, number 24, $18.40 on the tote. It would have been round about those odds in the ring, but not anymore. And that is the one that they have come for in the later stages of betting on the Foster's Melbourne Cup. Let's return once again to Sandra Sully in the marquee as the Cup gets closer, Sandy.
Thanks, Peter. Yes, I'm about to give our viewers the details of the second competition we're running this week as part of the Cup Coverage Carnival, and it's your chance to win a brand new Honda 5-door Civic hatch. Now, if you'd like the details, stay listening, because it's a really simple contest. Only open to the viewers in Australia, sadly, but quite simple, and you can call as many times as you like. The brand new Honda Civic, you know, look, I have lots of PR blurb to read here, but I have to tell you, I drove it for a day or two, and it's a terrific car, loads of leg room, and it really is extremely comfortable and would be a wonderful prize and an addition to your house. So make sure you enter. Now, the question is quite simple. All you have to do is tell us which was the last international horse to win the Melbourne Cup. We've got three choices. We're going to make it that easy. A, Belldale Ball, B, Vintage Crop, or C, Fowler. Not that hard. To win, all you need to do is call this number, and I guarantee you, well, I can't, but I promise you, I'm going to try and get it right this time. 1902 555 665. The number again, 1902 555 665, and follow the prompts. Enter as many times as you like, as I said, and we'll be announcing the winner on Emirates Stakes Day, so stay with us here on 10. Lynn Talbot is what? I'll try and get it out. Lynn Talbot is with one of the new recruits to 10. Hi, Lynn.
Where have you been, Sandra? Have you been sipping that champagne in the marquee, have you?
Not enough yet.
Well, I've been naughty too. I've been in the champagne bar down here, which is one of the favourite watering holes of many of the VRC members and their guests, and of course various celebs, and I've managed to extract, and that was the word, Elle McFeast out of there. How are you?
Very well, thank you, Lynn. Hello, Sandra. I've been having a wonderful time down there.
What's the talent like?
Well, I tell you what, there is a wide variety of young men to choose from here at the Melbourne Cup, but I would have to say my favourites have been the little short fellows wearing silk.
Yes, well, they are the jockeys.
Oh,
too busy to chat up today.
They shouldn't be drinking then.
That's quite right. Now, one of the biggest challenges on a day like today is what to wear for the ladies, and particularly in the shoe area, because if it's a bit soggy underfoot, it's a bit tricky, isn't it?
It's the biggest gamble that a girl can actually lay on Melbourne Cup Day. The biggest stakes are indeed what you put on your feet, because quite frankly, with Melbourne weather, 1 minute, quite frankly, it's like Brisbane. You know, if Melbourne was Brisbane, we'd just be sunny and happy and all the time, but we're like Brisbane. Brisbane is like Melbourne on Prozac, you know, nice and happy and having a nice time. Melbourne's a little bit more neurotic and willing to change willy-nilly. So you never quite know what to wear on your feet. I like to call it the choosy to shoesy handicap. You know,
and it goes like?
Well, hang on, I'll have to visualise a race, but it's something like, you know, racing now and 6-inch stilettos get stuck at the start, stuck on the inside, but out come Pink Fluffy Slippers. Oh, Pink Fluffy Slippers having a terrible time in the mud, and Ugg Boots going for it on the flat. Ugg Boots coming around the side, and there goes Sensible Pumps. Sensible Pumps are making a very far-fetched foot. Sensible Pumps on the outside, Sensible Pumps coming around the outside, and Court Shoes doing well, and there come White Kitten Heels. Oh, what a mess. They'll have to be destroyed. And it's Sensible Pumps are across the line in a choosy to shoesy handicap. Oh, someone's taking you.
Oh, absolutely beautiful. I think Dan Malecki's got a lot to live up to for the Melbourne Cup there. Now tell us about this project on 10 very soon. McFeast, the Queen and I.
Yes, it's actually very exciting, Lynn. Elle McFeast, the Queen and I, coming to the 10 network. And if you're interested in the Queen, if you're interested in what it means to be royal, if you're interested in the differences between Australia and Britain, and indeed if you love Diana, you'll love this special. It's quite beautiful.
Well, all the best for it. We look forward to it. I believe it's screening on the 23rd of November, and it has all things royal on it, just like you, my dear.
We're princesses one and all at Channel 10.
That is right. Back to you.
Thanks, Lynn, and thanks, Libby. We are looking forward to those new specials about to air on Channel 10. Well, lots of colour and fashion to come after the break. The third of our featured fashion designers, Paul Anthony. Now, you're watching the Foster's Melbourne Cup right here on 10. Stay with us.
English trainer James Fanshawe is making his second trip to Melbourne, this time with Irish St Leger winner Arctic Owl. Jockey David Harrison will be hoping for a smoother passage than his bruising fifth aboard Travelmate 12 months ago. Mr Nelson raced himself into the field and a lightweight chance with a gallant second behind Brew in Saturday's Saab Quality. He's only recently gone into the care of Flemington mentor Russell Cameron, while Jason Patton will be the man with the reins. And Werribee Cup third place getter Celestial Show would provide a huge upset should she win for Leonard Morton and Lenny Beasley.
Well, you're looking now at one of the favourites for the big race, Diatribe. You came into this week as the hot favourite, but things have changed as they do. The late mail comes through on the course and, well, the money seems to be displayed everywhere. But I'm going to have a little bit of a punt on Diatribe amongst the rest of the field. Well, you know, we've been running all this week and reminding viewers, actually, if you'd like to drop us a line, our email address is thecup@network10.com.au. So make sure you drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. We have already received a couple, though. Now, I know this telecast is, you know, wide and varied, travels all over the world, but I had no idea we're going to Laos. We've received a wonderful email from Charles Balnaves, who's looking forward to the Cup presentation. So thanks, Charles, for dropping us a line. And also, we've got some greetings from Shanghai, China, so it's great to see so many expats and I guess horse lovers, horse racing lovers around the world joining in for the Cup Carnival. Now to our third fashion feature for the day, and as you know, this is a chance to win some great prizes, so keep watching. This is all about Paul Anthony. Now, strangely, Paul's background was in high finance, but his love of textiles meant that his career was always calling and it was time to change. He recently started his own couture fashion label and is specialising in beautiful vintage fabrics.
Up the dawn and ask her why. A dream, she never dies. Why that's
I think that fashion revives itself all the time. I think what we constantly are trying to do is actually project what the past is into the future. My clothing and my design is quite classical in a sense. What I attempt to do through my designs is actually achieve a modern and more up to the time sort of take on especially vintage fabrics. I find that they're the most influential sort of elements of my work. That I've made for Cup Day, it's based on tribal art, again vintage fabrics, mostly from like 10-15 years old, some older, and one particular older piece that I've used to make the bag was actually a hat.